Last month, I advised users to stop using Facebook Messenger and switch to its stablemate WhatsApp. The reason is simple: security. This led to people asking me about Apple iMessage and SMS, including Google Messages, and whether these are secure to use. The answer is not as simple as you might like. The reason you should switch from Facebook Messenger to WhatsApp is down to end-to-end encryption. You've likely seen this discussed in the media. It can be so secure that lawmakers actually want weaknesses introduced to help them investigate crimes. Without that, platforms cannot provide user content even when warranted by a court. Most of the traffic traveling to and from your devices is now encrypted, but that only solves half the problem. The risk remains in who holds the keys. When you end-to-end encrypt data or messages, keys are only held by the two, or multiple, endpoints of that link, you and the person you're messaging, for example. Even though you might be using WhatsApp's infrastructure, for example, it can't read what you send. Your phone is always a weakness, of course. If I have your device and it's unlocked, I can read all your messages. There's also the risk of an account hijack, which is broadly the same thing, compromising a decrypted endpoint. The end-to-end encryption itself, though, can be trusted to keep your messages safe and secure. WhatsApp is end-to-end encrypted. It popularized this level of security and it has become one of its hallmarks. By contrast, its Facebook stablemate Messenger is not end-to-end encrypted by default. Recommending Facebook Messenger users to switch to WhatsApp is easy. Facebook itself advocates strongly for end-to-end encryption, while WhatsApp says it's a must. The only thing stopping an immediate encryption upgrade for Messenger is the technical complexity involved. SMS is at the other end of the security spectrum, built on an archaic architecture that sits inside the many cellular networks around the world. When you send an SMS, while it might be secure between your phone and your network, once there it can be easily intercepted and collected. Last year I reported on hackers compromising global telcos to collect SMS traffic between targeted senders and recipients. As FireEye warned at the time, users and organizations must consider the risk of unencrypted data being intercepted several layers upstream in their cellular communication chain. The advantage of SMS, though, is that it is as ubiquitous as it gets. However simple and unsmart your phone might be, it will be able to send and receive plain text short-form messages. But the technology is now used for much more than that. Longer messages, MMS attachments, financial details, private data, sensitive information. Almost all smartphones now run on either Apple's iOS or Google's Android operating systems, and so their default applications have become the front end for inbuilt messaging.